now more than 1.5 million people confirmed with the coronavirus infection. It was slow to spread to rural America, but not anymore. It has reached officially 2/3 of the country's rural counties in the United States of America. That 1 in 10 counties are now reporting at least one death in the United States. Doctors and elected officials, they're warning that a late arriving wave of illness could overwhelm rural communities that are older, poorer, and sicker than most of the country. Everybody is please urging everybody in the know is urging everybody to please social distance. Here in New York, where I am quarantined, the death toll hit its record high for the third straight day. 799 people, it's terrible, died of the coronavirus in New York. The epicenter of the epicenter in New York is actually in Queens, right along the 7 line, which goes through Corona and Roosevelt Avenue, if anybody knows Queens area, and goes through Jackson Heights. That is the epicenter of the epicenter in the entire United States of America. It's a big immigrant community there, so please be careful. Governor Andrew Cuomo said at a press conference that social distancing is helping to flatten the curve of coronavirus hospitalizations, and they believe that there's going to be less death than they originally anticipated. Dr. Fauci, I saw earlier today, cautiously optimistic that New York is hitting its peak of coronavirus cases, so hopefully that is the case. Yesterday, we talked about ICE was not releasing anybody from detention, even though 60% of the people in detention in ICE have no criminal record, despite the fact that there's a lot of fear that coronavirus is going to be spreading throughout the entire jail system of ICE. But now ICE today reversed, and they said they are going to review detainees for release because of health conditions believed to place people at higher risk. So hopefully that will be the case. I also saw, I'm sure people already know, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of Great Britain. He became ill. He was in the ICU. He has now been moved out of the ICU. So thankfully, it looks like he is going to be okay. Does anybody watch Tiger King? Crazy tiger people? I mean, who knew these tiger people even existed in the world, let alone in the United States, let alone they were crazy? If you haven't seen it, it was such a train wreck, that show. I couldn't stop watching it. So I binge watched it on Netflix for about over a 24-hour period. I won't give you the spoiler alert, but here's the spoiler alert. At the end, the guy goes to jail, the Tiger King. So now, throughout this entire coronavirus pandemic, the world has come to a close. We have the most people ever applying for unemployment. Businesses are closed. People are suffering. People are dying. Economically, people are dying. Physically, people are dying. We had 799 deaths in New York alone yesterday. So what is Donald Trump talking about in his press conference? He's joking about taking a look at Joe Exotic, who is known as the Tiger King from this Netflix show, about pardoning him from his felony that he's going to be spending the next 21 years in jail. I couldn't believe that of everything that's going on in the world, this is what the man has to talk about. The bizarre exchange went down yesterday afternoon at the coronavirus task force briefing. It happened when a reporter asked Trump if he's heard of the popular Netflix series, and if so, might consider commuting Joe Exotic's 20-year prison sentence. And the reporter told Trump his son Don Jr. joked during a radio interview he'd lobby the president to pardon Joe Exotic for the memes and just frankly watching the media reaction to this thing. So it's actually pretty hilarious. Trump asked which son made that comment before answering in signature fashion, saying, "I know nothing about it," but that didn't stop him from saying he would look into it. So I can't believe this is what's being discussed right now. And if anybody who watches my show on a regular basis, they've heard us talk about at least 2 or 3 different times on each of our Thanksgiving specials about the accidental Thanksgiving grandma who sent a text message. She was an elderly white woman who sent a text message thinking it was to her grandson, but it was sent to a kid, a black kid in the inner city, inviting him for Thanksgiving. And the kid showed up at the door and they were like, you know, it was like that Sidney Poitier movie, something about where he gets invited to dinner in the 1960s. But nevertheless, the family welcomed him in and he had a lovely Thanksgiving dinner with that family. And for several years now, she's been inviting him back for Thanksgiving. They became very good and close extended family members. She became known as the accidental Thanksgiving grandma, and she's now recovering from the coronavirus. But unfortunately, she is mourning the loss of her husband. Now, the whole story started back in 2016 when Wanda Dench from Mesa, Arizona, invited her 17-year-old Jamal hinted to Thanksgiving with a misfired text that went instead to somebody else. But even after realizing the mistake, Wanda, along with her husband, Lonnie, extended their invite and also invited his girlfriend as well. And each subsequent year, they've been having Thanksgiving. It's a really beautiful story. And unfortunately, they both got sick with coronavirus. And unfortunately, the husband, he died, which is very sad. I also saw Cardi B. She started coronavirus. Shit is real. Well, she's also being very real, too, because she's giving over $1 million to families impacted by coronavirus. So my hand goes out to Cardi B. Good job there. She announced that she has teamed up with online boutique Fashion Nova to help families affected by the coronavirus. She's going to be giving out $1,000 every hour to families needing to pay bills or purchase food until they reach $1 million. I'm not sure where she's going to be giving out this money, but maybe go to @FashionNova or also go to #FashionNovaCares, which is #FashionNovaCares, FashionNovaCares. I am sure that if you either go to @FashionNova or FashionNovaCares, or maybe even check out Cardi B's Instagram or whatever, I'm sure they will have some sort of link to where you can get in on that, getting the $1,000 every hour until they give $1 million away. And which is very nice too. Matthew McConaughey of the Lincoln Town Car fame commercials, but he's also a famous actor as well. But you know, those Lincoln Town Car commercials are the worst. But he's very nice right now. He has been playing virtual bingo with some seniors at a living facility in Austin, which is very nice. A lot of stars are absolutely giving their time, and which is also very, very nice.
Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.